Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to my video. So in this video we are going to look at probability question which came in 2024. Yeah, so before I start, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment for more videos like this. Yeah, so our question here is saying two boxes A and B contains balls of the same size. Box A contains 2 greens and 3 blue, while box B contains 4 green balls and 2 blue balls. Then it says if one ball is selected at random from each box, what is the probability that both balls selected are one blue, then second different colors? Yeah. So our first question we're going to solve is the probability that the ball that was selected was what? Blue. So how can you calculate probability? So before we start calculating probability, I need to understand what probability is, but I'm not going to teach you what probability is because that's another video. So in this video, we're just going to focus mainly on solving, but I'll be explaining some points. Yeah. So the question is saying we have two boxes here. Remember, we have box A and box B. So meaning in box A contains 2 green balls and 3 blue balls, whilst box B contains 4 green and 2 blue. So the first thing you need to do is write the data which you have been given. So what's the data? So the data we have here is that the box A. So we have box A which contains 2 green balls and 3 we have 3 blue balls. Then box B has 4 green and 2 blue balls. Yeah, so this is the data we have, and our question is asking us to calculate the probability that the ball which was picked at random was blue. Yeah, so now that we have the data, meaning here we have two boxes, meaning the events are independent. So whatever happens in box A won't affect what happens in what? Box B. So remember, whenever you see that these events are independent, remember you have to multiply the outcome. What do we mean about the outcome? So the outcome, these are the probability now to solve. Yeah. So step 1, we have written the data. Then step 2, you have to add so that we know that the total in each box. So if we add 2 green balls and 3 blue balls in box A, we have 5 balls all together. Then if we add 4 and 6, we have 6 balls all together in box B. But the probability is asking us to calculate what are the chances of you picking a blue ball. Yeah. So the first thing is, since the question is asking about blue balls. So we only consider blue balls because these are the ones. So you come to box A. What are the chances of picking a blue ball out of what? 5 balls. Because the total balls we have are 5. And we are calculating the probability of picking a blue ball out of 5 balls. Yeah. So you say the probability of picking blue in box A is what? 3 out of 5 balls. Then this can be presented as 3 over 5. Yeah. So this is the probability of picking a blue ball in what? In box A at random. Then you move on to box B. Remember, we are calculating the probability of two boxes, sorry. So again, the probability of picking blue in box B is 2 out of what? 6. Yeah. Then if you simplify this, you have 1 out of 3. Yeah. So once you have these two probabilities, you can now calculate the actual probability of picking a blue ball, because we say that we have two boxes, meaning the events are independent. They don't depend on the other. Yeah. So the final answer therefore will be the probability of picking a blue ball should be 3 out of 5 multiplied by what? 1 out of 3, which you get 3 out of 15. Or if you simplify, 1 out of 5. Yeah. So this is your final probability of picking a blue ball in what? In 2 boxes. So remember, whenever you are considering independent events, you have to multiply. Yeah. I can even put it here. Independent events you what? Multiply. Yeah. So once you calculate this, meaning you have solved your what? Your probability. Yeah. So now moving on to our second question, which was saying find the probability that the balls selected were what? Were of different colors. So here the probability we solved for blue was 1 out of 5. So remember the steps. Yeah. So now when we come to calculating the probability of picking different colors, remember here we have 2 boxes. So how can we have 2 different colors? So we can only have 2 different colors in 2 scenarios. If we're considering 2 boxes, the first scenario is you can either pick green in box A. So green in A and blue in what? B. Then the second event, you can either pick blue in A and green in what? In box B. So these are the only scenario where you can get 2 different colors. So now how can you interpret this in terms of probability? So probability here comes in a way that you have to calculate now both probabilities independently, then you add them. Why are we adding here? So the reason we are adding here is because these events are not independent. Remember, you are getting one from box A, then you get another one from what? From box B. Again, you are getting one from box B and another one from box A. Remember in my first question, I said that these boxes are independent of each other. So whatever happens in the other box, the other box won't be affected. Yeah. So that's how you handle probability. So how can we solve it now? Yeah, so you need to pay attention here. So you say now question 2, the probability of different colors. So we say that there can only be two events in which you can pick two different colors. Either you pick a blue ball in box A and a green ball in box B, or you pick a blue ball in box B and a green ball in box A. So those are the two probabilities you need to take note. Yeah. So again, going back to our question, which says we had 2 green balls and 3 blue balls in box A. So you write here. So we are saying we had green, which was 2, and we had what? Blue, which was 3. This is box A. And in box B, we had what? 2 for blue and 4 for what? For green. Yeah. Then the total I calculated in box A we had 5 balls. In box B we had 6 balls. Yeah, so for the total, you just add the balls. Yeah. So since we are calculating for different colors here, so as I said, first you need to calculate those outcomes independently before you add them. Yeah. So first we are going to pick our first outcome, which can either be, so for you to pick different colors, you can either pick green in box A and you pick blue in what? Box B. That's the first outcome. Then the second outcome is you can either pick blue in box A and you pick green in what? Box B. So we'll solve the first one. So the probability of picking green or blue should be, so in box A, how many greens do we have? We have 2. And how many balls altogether do we have? We have 5. So it's a 2 over 5 multiplied by, remember, multiplication represents that these events are independent. Yeah. Then you go to box B. In box B, how many blue do we have? We only have 2. Then how many balls do we have altogether? We have what? 6. Then if you multiply 2 times 2 you get 4, 5 times 6 you get 30. Then you can simplify this to be 2 over 15. So the probability of either picking green or blue in our first pick is what? 2 out of 5. But what if we change? Here they are saying different colors. So there are a lot of ways in which you can pick different colors. So the second one which you can pick different colors is if you pick what? Blue in box A or green in what? Box B. Yeah. So again, you go back to your data. How many blue balls do we have in box A? We have 3. Then what's the total? 5. You multiply again. In box B, how many green balls do we have? We have 4. Then what's the total? 6. Then you multiply 3 times 4, that's 12. 5 times 6, that's 8. Again, if you can simplify, you have 2 over 5. So here we divided by 6, which we got 2. Then 6 in that we have 5. Yeah. Then these are the what? The probability of us picking either a green ball or a blue ball in both cases. But the question is asking us to calculate the entire probability of us picking different colors. So at the end of the day, since these events are related, you have to add the what? The outcomes. So our final probability of picking either blue or green is, you take 2 over 15 plus 2 over 5, which you get. So here the common denominator is 15. 15 into 15, that's 1. 1 times 2, that's 2. Plus 5 into 15, that's 3. 3 times 2, that's 6. Then if you add, you get 8. So, yeah. So if you add 6 plus 2, you get 8 over 15. So this is your final probability of picking different colors. So remember, this question was a bit tricky because you had 2 boxes. In other cases, they just bring 1 box. Yeah, those are the simple probability, but this probability was different. So this is an example that you have to revise, because if you're not revising, you just memorize that, okay, they just bring 1 box. You will be surprised you have 4. So this is the part of revision, as I've been always telling you. Don't memorize, know the concept. Yeah. If you memorized, you would have ended here. Because here you have to calculate 2 cases. In both, you have 2 boxes. So you have to be calculating 2 probability per question. Yeah. So this is where my video ends. In the next video, I'll try to solve other questions, yeah, on probability to make you understand the concepts. Yeah. So this was the question for those that are playing the video at the end. Yeah. We started by calculating the probability of selecting a blue ball, which we found to be 1 over 5. Then the probability of picking different colors, we said it's 8 over 15. Those that followed how I solved, no. Yeah. So be sure to follow my page, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell button so that you get notified when my next video is released.